Hello everybody, and welcome back to some more Banjo-Kazooie, where we're starting off with the Mad Monster Mansion. Um, when it comes to this level, there's a little prep work that we need to do just at the very beginning here. Nothing too serious, just gotta break all the windows. That's pretty much it.
Just to bring back memories of childhood then.
Was that what you did as a kid? Break a lot of windows?
No, but I don't know what you rebellious people of Canuck Land do.
To be honest, I never really did much of anything as a kid. I was always a good boy, never did anything wrong. You know,
Apologize whenever you step in someone's shadow.
Yeah, pretty much, but no, I do remember one time when I was a kid, there was a grade 8 guy who was, like, one of my neighbors, and he would walk me home from school, which he hated fucking doing because, you know, he's, in grade 8, and I'm just some shithead, like, 7-year-old. There was one time where we took a slight detour so he could graffiti on a fence in Sharpie. And I thought that was like completely terrible and he shouldn't have done that. And it's like, oh my god, I'm a witness to this, what do I do? So
I am an accessory to a crime.
basically, looking back on it, I'm just like, yeah, I was a dumbass, but whatever.
You didn't have that Cisco moment where like says, "I would do it again."
You ever get into hijinks as a kid like that? Or,
No. I was a very boring kid, and now I am a very boring adult. So nothing has changed much.
Very good.
Yeah. Are you aware of the reference about Cisco? I mean, that Cisco moment.
No.
Like Star Trek Deep Space Nine, there is an episode I think it's called The Pale Moonlight.
Oh, is Cisco the guy who people joke about saying like, oh yeah, he was a good commander because he committed war crimes or some shit like that?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, because Cisco was kind of like I don't know much about Star Trek, but what I can gather from hearing like the discourse about the character is that he was kind of like the guy who was willing to dirty his hands if he got basically for the greater good, for lack of a better word. Like,
yeah.
And there is an episode where basically some guy, one of the guys in his ship plots the death of an ambassador of another planet with an excuse of framing the guys, the Cardassians, which were the people the Federation was at war with.
I heard that cat.
Yeah, she's an unruly kid sometimes. And the episode end with Cisco doing like a recording on his pilot diary. Basically, he interrogates the guy, and the guy confesses, "Yeah, I killed him. But if you let him things go as planned, like this, like his planet will get into the war, and that's gonna switch things on our side. Like that will make things put the situation in favorable for us, that kind of thing." So he basically lets it happen. Like he lets the guy's plan go as intended. The Romulans in this case, like the planet they were trying to get into war. Romulans get into the war, like announce that they would be joining the Federation in the war, and he ends like the story saying, "So I lied.
I heard the cat again.
Yeah, that is another cat right now.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Says like,
one of your 26 different cats.
It says like, I lied, I cheated. I bribed men to cover the lies of other men. I'm an accessory to murder. And then he said, but the most damning thing of all is that I would do it again. Basically. Like,
And then you'll take a potato chip and eat it.
I don't know if you would do that. I don't know if Cisco was a character with a god complex, but basically the point is that for the sake of protecting, like securing the future for them, like against the Kardashian Empire, he allowed himself to be tainted by the crime, and it's like the most damning thing of all is that I can live with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's Spock's the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few taken to the absolute extreme.
Basically, he's saying like, dirtying your hands and doing something evil is like he says, like a dirty conscience is a small price to pay for the safety of basically an entire civilization. So basically, like
yeah, he assassinated like what was it, like one person to save basically whoops, I fucked that up. To save like an entire colony, right? So
well, basically, he assassinated one ambassador to get his planet to join the war, because that would shift the scale of the war in their favor. And basically, as far as I know, the Cardassians in the story, they were like an intergalactic version of 1984.
okay.
Like this very totalitarian, repressive nation, where you, like, every person is just a cog. It's just a cog in a machine, like a tool for the state.
Yeah.
So. So yeah, I haven't watched nothing of Star Trek outside of some clips on YouTube, but I do find that style of character very interesting, very appealing, because it's very much like an extreme version of the idea of taking responsibility and accepting the character who is taking responsibility even for the evil things they're done, and they're basically accepting, okay, I'm gonna dirty my hands, but the benefits of it for everyone else are gonna be far superior than whatever dirt is in my conscience. There's a character I love. There's an anime called Shiki, and one character that's kind of like that. His name is Toshio. He's like a doctor. No, he's not like a doctor. He's a doctor.
But like a doctor, I got it.
Yeah. So he's basically, his character arc is becoming this very nihilistic, uncaring guy who is willing to do things that are Francisco.
Yeah. I actually I know you're not a big fan of Game Grumps, but back when JonTron was on it, they had Grant Kirkhope on here. And he mentioned that a few things that they did to save space on the cartridge was that they reused voices of characters, but just changed the pitch and the speed of them. Oh. So that ghost character is actually the same voice that Banjo is. It's just slowed down. And what's even weirder is that Clanker, the giant shark in Clanker's Cavern, that's also Banjo, but really slowed down.
Shiki
But anyway, you're saying about this doctor like a doctor?
Yeah, the doctor like a doctor. Basically his character arc in the story is becoming this very jaded guy who accepts doing very moral stuff if it is to save the town he lives in.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I recommend it a lot because Shiki is an anime that is very dear to me. It's very much like it's very much like how I like storytelling.
Okay.
You know. But yeah, it would be kind of troublesome to explain why. But I highly recommend you watch it. It's very good. And like this character in particular, like he does some heinous stuff. Like episode 14, of the anime is specifically like a heavy one, and based on what he does in the episodes and the moral implication of it. But I think it's a very important point in the story because it's basically the point where he accepts that none of them, if they want to survive, they will not come out of that situation with clean hands, like any of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a point that the rest of the series very much reinforces, like heavily. Yeah. So, yeah, basically that's what I have to say about Shiki for now. For now. Until we decided to watch it someday.
Okay. Yeah, because right now we're watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. Which, it's pretty good. We've only seen the first 3 episodes, and I think we both saw the entire series. It's just it's been years since I've last seen it, so...
I've seen some sporadic episodes many years ago, but I have not seen this series in its entirety. I don't think I watched anything of the 3rd season. It's 3 seasons, right?
Yeah, just 3 seasons. Legend of Korra was 4 seasons, so it's that much shittier.
But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything of the 3rd season even.
3rd season was pretty good. The only downside was that between season 2 and 3, that's when Mako died, or not Mako. Shoot, who was the guy who played Iroh? What?
Mako.
Oh, yeah. It was Mako. I was right. Okay, yeah, that's when Mako passed. So there was a voice discrepancy between like old Iroh and new Iroh. I mean, you can't really blame them for doing a replacement. The guy did a good enough job, but you can tell it's not Mako. And because of that, there is a fair bit of Iroh just not being in the show, which I'm guessing is mostly due to that complication. But which is unfortunate because Iroh is the best character.
What was the new character? What was the new?
The new voice actor. I don't know his name, but it was Mako's son.
Son?
Yes.
Wow.
Like I said, he did a pretty good job at replicating his dad, but it's one of those things where you can tell that it's not actually Mako, it's his son.
Yeah.
But
Mako, who also played the wizard in the Conan movies, the ones with Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, you showed me that clip. I need to see that movie, but that was pretty funny. He just runs up to Conan and is like, "I'll eat your bones."
Oh, is that like, "I'll summon a demon"? It's gonna eat your bones. Yeah, that is a very Mozart plays his.
It's like Mozart, but it's just the hand.
Mozart.
Anyway, this is really easy because you can just immediately just do it as soon as, like, he pushes it. Or even before he pushes it. So I guess if you know the actual pattern, then you can just do it easy. But, anyway, really easy one, but we have to go through 2 rounds of this. Although I do really like the music in this church.
Isn't that a haunted house?
No, we're in a... Well, it's a haunted house, but this is the church part of the haunted house. You know, hence the organ, piano, and the well, oh fuck, what are they called? The chairs. Steeples? No, that's something else. Go, help me here.
I don't know. I haven't been gone to any church in a while.
Pews,
I just think of
that's
them as
it.
benches. What's the name?
Pews, I think, is what they're called, right?
Oh yeah, it is a church.
Come on, you're the religious one out of the 2 of us. You should know all this shit.
Yeah, but I'm not. But I don't go to church. I haven't been to church, you know.
Alright, fine.
I'm no Catholic. I'm not Catholic.
Excuses, excuses.
We're gonna get a Catholic in here. He's gonna elucidate it for us. He's gonna scout one to be in the... I don't know. Grab the first... go to the church and ask some random guy, hey, you wanna be in a video?
No, I'll just go into the church and be like, Father, what is this thing? And I'll point to the chairs, and they're like, they're called pews, and it's like, alright, good, and then I'll just leave.
Wow.
Let's see. Oh, so a little fun fact about our conversations that Gok and I have when we're not on, oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my...
Yeah, that was a little scary. But anyway, talking about, some conversations that Gok and I have when we're not being recorded, Gok has this thing where he really wants me to do wants me to DM, Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Now, I personally have read the rules for Thirsty Sword Lesbians, and I can tell you right now, it is a shithouse of a fucking game to DM for. Mostly because there's no actual rules. Because basically, rules as written, it specifically says that if somebody wants to do something cool, let them do it. And it's like, what the fuck kind of a rule is that?
Yeah, it's the... There's some crowd among the among RPG community that has some very loose perspective on the idea of rule of cool. Where like if it is cool, you just should mode your game not based on what is on like providing a challenge, providing something that is rewarding for your players to complete. It's just if they want to do something cool, you let them do it.
Yeah.
So you saw that like in a XP to level 3 video where it talks about the Giga Chat GM.
Oh yeah,
and the GM is
where
basically
he said that he doesn't use HP. He just does it so that way if he feels that the story is good or something cool happens, then that's when the boss dies.
Yeah, if the boss he doesn't track HP for the enemies, like I just wait until everyone does something cool. Oh, okay. Then none of the things that you do to make your character more powerful even matter.
Basically, yeah.
Like the weapons you decided you went scavenging on, the powers, the feats that you that you took. None of that matters. Always that matters that you quote unquote do something cool.
Come on, just roll that natty 20, baby.
Nah. So yeah, it's a really obnoxious trend where people basically just it results in a game where there is no stakes. Like you can, as long as you can justify something silly, as long as you can justify something silly happening, something cool, the GM is meant to allow it. So okay. Oh, I don't know where to go with that line of thinking. I just find it a really obnoxious way of playing because.
Well, it's the idea of, oh yeah, there's all these cool moments in live plays like Critical Role and all the other ones, but it's one of those things where you kind of have to realize that those shows are scripted, and well, even if they do have some random elements to them, it's one of those. It's going to result in the same end result regardless what happens, you know. So
yeah, it's very much of a show that is very. Oh my! You turn into a punk.
Yeah, a little pumpkin, and her little stem on her head bounces up and down as well, separate from the rest of the body.
Oh my god. But yeah, people seem to not have paying attention to that. Those shows are not representative of RPG experience. They're not. They're very well. The people who are there are well curated because they're professional voice actors. They don't have they have a lot of a preparation that is not just tied to the GM. They have a whole crew to do the scenarios that their characters are gonna play. So it's very much a very curated thing that is not representative of general RPG experience. And I guess people take to their minds that this is what RPGs are. Happy landings. I know I'm not comfortable with the idea of my toilet speaking. Just saying. But yeah.
Well, it depends what they say when they speak. Are they always angry at the fact that you're using them, or are they really excited when you come by? Yeah, so, as the witch says, we're gonna wash ourselves, take a quick bath, and get in there in that tub, and there we go. We're good. Cleaned ourselves off. Anyway, there's a few others.
Clean yourselves off after you go crawling in the sewers.
Yeah. Oh, fucking piece of shit game. I was on that hole. Oh well. Time to go around.
Wait, did you got flashbacks to some game or from?
No. Just looking back at the footage, there's you're supposed to go down that drainage pipe as a pumpkin to get the jiggy, but I just missed the hole.
Oh yeah, you were talking about Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
Yeah, well, even then, I don't even know what kind of game to run, because their ideas of games are... there's no setting, so to speak, for Thirsty Sword Lesbians. It's just, okay, here are some rules. We poorly explained every single one of them, so there's barely any fucking rules. The only rules that we do have any, mechanics for, are basically ways on how to rape other players. And...
Whoa!
I'm serious. It's the fucking string system that they have. Which could very easily be interpreted as, you're gaslighting other people into fucking dating you and shit like that. Like, it is not a fucking a great system when you think of it in that regard. But anyway, so that's like the only thing that they have rules set up for is essentially like how do you trick people into dating you kind of thing. And even then, like the ideas that they have for like what kind of setting you could go for the mechanics, it's like, oh yeah, you could have it so that way you guys are on a space station and the computer is like HAL, except instead of wanting to kill you, they're horny for you. And it's like, what the fuck kind of setting is this? Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Oh, lovely. How do I convince the computer to do something for me? Stick your dick in it.
Well, no, they're lesbians, so it has to be clit.
Yeah.
But
there is a small button on the computer that you have to flick ferociously until it's satisfied.
yeah, so the only thing I could think of, especially for the type of people that I hang out with, i.e. you, Gok, the only scenario I could think of would be a complete and utter shitpost of like real life, like a real life situation, and make it so that way it's like making fun of the fact that people, you know what I'm trying to get at, right? Like it's the idea of
use the system to make a parody of it.
Yeah, essentially. Like, one of the things is that people will get uppity at the fact that, oh, you put real-world politics into it, but then they're the same type of people who will be like, oh yeah, making Orange Man bad allegories is like top-tier political commentary, right? And it's,
or satire,
yeah, whatever. And it's, well, first of all, it's not, but second of all, that's the only way I could really think of using this system if I were to DM it. It would be like make a complete shitpost like that.
I do recall that video where the basic expert talks about the setting Radiant Citadel, which was a dumpster fire.
Yeah, and, I haven't read it, mostly because that was the point where I stopped giving an iota of a shit about Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
Basically,
he talks like about
the last book. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he was making a point like how to make how he would make a game based on the Radiant Citadel, and the whole it's basically he turns the thing on its head, because the Radiant Citadel, as it is described in the system, is supposed to be this utopia. So he basically turns into there's something wrong with paradise, and it's actually like a really dictatorial, like a really dystopian setting with a dictatorial government that is stifling business and that kind of stuff, and really, and I'm suddenly retarded.
Don't worry, Cheeto the book will do that to you.
Anyway, the point is, he uses like he takes the supposed utopia of a Radiant Citadel and actually say, hey, let's take these ideas that this setting is based on, and take them to their real life extreme, which is basically like Soviet Russia. And it basically turns into like a totalitarian government that you can, I don't know, you can set your players on to maybe, I don't know, they could try to destroy it, they could try to join it. But basically like subverting the setting based on its own ideas.
Yeah, essentially. Like, From what I've heard about the Radiant Citadel, it was a it's basically just like San Francisco, essentially.
Yeah.
Or a very idealized version of San Francisco, where everyone's happy, everyone's eating non-meat meat, but you can get real meat if you really want to.
And
just all this like weird shit.
The city government does everything for you. Like, you have no need for even adventuring, because like it's supposed, like, let's take San Francisco and pretend that it works.
Yeah. But even then, it's just like, what was I gonna say? Yeah, but, like, even, you said in the book, like, there's no need for adventuring, so what the fuck is there a need for the book then, essentially? Like, what adventures could you have? Are you robbing the city bank or something? Like...
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very weird setting.
Yeah, but for me...
You're really putting Kazooie to work here.
Look, all I'm saying is that when it comes to Kazooie, she is technically faster than Banjo, even while carrying Banjo on her back. I don't understand the math behind it, but it fucking works. I'm gonna abuse the shit out of it. But, yeah, the time that I stopped giving shits about Wizard of the Coast was Strixhaven. Simply because, A, silvery barbs, but B, it was one of the most poorly written piece of fuck books that was so bad that Strixhaven, which is the magical school that your characters go to and do stuff in, there is no map for Strixhaven whatsoever. You're just expected to make it up. And that was just like, yep, fuck this noise. And to be fair, my patience was really waning with Wizards when they released Into the Wild Night, or Wild Light, or whatever the fuck that Feywild one was called. And that was mostly just because they introduced Thaco, the gatekeeping clown.
Is that Wild Beyond the Witchlight?
That's it. That's the fucking book.
Oh yeah, Thaco.
Who's ironically the only good character, but I understood exactly what they were fucking going for as to why they made him. So that's why I'm just like, yeah, you know what, fuck you.
Ironically, like, in one sense, like, I do consider Thaco not a good mechanic.
Well, from what I've seen and heard of how Thaco works, it's essentially it's just AC now, but just reverse how you calculate it.
Yeah. I find like a very strange way of like, why did you put it like lopsided like this? Why do I have to count things in to like do the opposite of a number? Why can't I just have a meter beat AC like nowadays? I don't think it's a good mechanic, because I find it very unintuitive. That is a lot of jigs that you have to use.
They only go up from here.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is the level that people say, like, oh, this is the worst level in Banjo-Kazooie because my vagina can't handle all the sand that's going in it right now. And it's like, you people are weak.
I keep getting dragged out by this in this desert, and it's hurting my...
No, but for real, people complain about this level pretty hard. This is where I would consider to be the hardest level in the game, but a lot of people are... I don't know, I just find them whiny bitches, to be honest. Basically, the main mechanic for this level that makes it so hard is that all the water is basically toxic. So, if you're above the water line, you still lose air because it's all polluted with like oil and shit. But if you start swimming in it, your air meter goes down by twice as much. So.
I gotta be quick and know what you're doing.
Basically. So. Yeah, you can see just how fast it's depleting right now because I'm under the water.
So yeah, well, the one thing I was talking about Thaco is like I do find Thaco not a very good mechanic. It's unintuitive and unnecessarily complicated. But
then again, it's also made by Gary Gygax. He was literally the founder of like the whole thing. Like it was. He had a lot of strange ideas and concepts that he was going for. So, and admittedly, a lot of them don't make any fucking sense. Like, language based on your moral alignment. That shit doesn't make any fucking sense in or out of context.
Yeah. But I think like the reason why making Thaco into a gatekeeping clown into...
Yeah, it was making fun of the old school gaming crowd, who was like, shit was better in my day.
Yeah. First of all, assholes, you're spitting on the legacy of this game. Like you're making fun of the people who were there supporting this franchise from the beginning, and which are the reason why you can make this product in the first place. So, how about you do you not be a bunch of ungrateful cunts? You know? Which is like, I think the thing that is really the most egregious about the Thaco the Clown.
Yeah, basically. Which is a bit sad because, out of context, if you just thought he had a weird name, he's honestly probably one of the better characters because he's just a grumpy old clown, and his character trait is, we saved this dolphin by cutting him in half, slice, and he's perfectly fine.
Sorry, what?
Oh, we just saved the dolphin. But the way we did it, we got the anchor back, so we just sliced him in half. But anyway, Thaco the clown. Like, he's honestly one of the better, probably the best character, if only because he's actually has like a real personality. Even if that personality is he's a grumpy shit who doesn't really like his job, but he really loves his fucking smoking pipe that blows bubbles. And it does say as a note in the book that if the players try and take his pipe, he is willing to kill them over it.
A man with us gotta have his limits, you know? There's a limit to what a man can put up with, so...
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and Thaco has established his bounds. Oh, this asshole is back.
Yeah, but just for this one little area, just to make it so it's hard to get this fucking Jinjo. And here is a secret I did not find until later on in life. That little hole. And since I am going for a 100% run, this is necessary to find.
Yo.
Yeah, I needed to get to the other side of the room really quickly, alright? Yeah, and this is literally the only reason why coming in here is, like, important to any degree. Just for that, honeycomb, piece.
And to be a dick to this guy.
Yeah, just to that one guy, though. Fuck him. I lent him $5 and he still hasn't paid me back. Have you ever, like, lent people money and then they never, pay you back, or, was that just, one of those things where, you learned very quickly to just hold on to your money?
I can't remember of anything in particular.
Oh, okay.
I think I may have I think I may have lended money to people at some point and just never bothered to ask for it back.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you break those windows, the yellow ones?
Not the yellow ones. Oh, sorry, that is my alarm.
Mm. I just like the first time I saw those windows, I think, can you break them?
Yeah,
only,
you can only break the clear glass ones. I guess when they're yellow, someone's home, so it'll be really obvious that you're breaking and entering.
Or they just board it up from the inside.
Yeah, I don't know what the exact reason is, but at the very least, Banjo-Kazooie is at least consistent about what you can and cannot do. So, I appreciate that. Yeah, acid, that apparently you also can't breathe in, so...
Yeah, I imagine breathing in acid would not be a very pleasant experience.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, you can't breathe it in the same way that, you can't, breathe, even, while you're swimming in above the oily water. Oh, and for those wondering about that toll, like, why I put so many into that one at the very beginning, that's the only one that actually has that secret where if you put more into it than what it asks for, it'll go out more. It's weird.
Which, I think the only goal of doing that is avoiding avoiding the eel that comes out of the tunnel.
Yeah, actually that's a good question. I always thought those things were like slugs, but you think they're eels?
That was like what they look like to me, honestly.
Yeah, all right. I mean,
do you still need the skulls?
Yes, there is one more transformation on the very last level.
Okay.
There is more skulls in the game than what you actually need, but you know it's a collectible in a collectible game. You gotta get it.
Yeah, I mean there are more jiggies than you need, right? So.
Yeah, but if you wanted to get like every fucking secret in the game, which includes you do need all the jiggies to find the super secret ending. So that's one thing. But the other thing is that you need 96 jiggies at minimum if you want to get all the upgrades in the game. And also that's a bit of a weird secret, where if you kill all the enemies, you just get an extra life, so... Oh, there is also a bit of a fun little Easter egg in this, well, there's a few fun Easter eggs in Rusty Bucket Bay. But one of them I was going to point out was the, you can find a flag that says that this place is in a very specific area of England. And I believe that specific area of England is actually where the Rare headquarters is. This may seem like a dumb question, but do you get snow over there in South America, or is it like non-existent because you're too close to the equator?
No, there are places in South America that get snow.
Okay.
Specifically more to the south, like around Uruguay, Argentina, they get snow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just asking because, well, I'm Canadian, so I get a fair bit of snow. But it's been a pretty shitty winter in terms of getting snow. So...
In what sense?
We have gotten, like, 4 days of snow spread across the entire winter season. And it all melted by the next day. So... like, I like snow, and that was very disappointing for me.
That is some tight, like...
Yeah, pretty tight. Like I said, this is a hard level. And that's not even the tightest that timed jiggies get in this level. Because that one's relatively safe to do. But anyway, I just asked because I was just curious, like, if drivers get, like, exceptionally shitty in your area when it starts to snow, like it does in my area.
Well, in my area it doesn't snow.
Okay.
The winter is more the dry season. Then... Why did you need the feathers, like a...
because I went into an oven that was red fucking hot, so I would have taken damage.
Nah, what you should have done is taken like a man.
At the end of the day, it's, the scars will, give you character.
Yeah. They're not scars. They're man tattoos.
Oh, this is the room with, no, this is not the room with one of the Easter eggs. At least I don't think it is. This is a room with a Jiggy in it, which is almost as good. But no, I'm actually surprised, like, at least in my area, even though, it snows here, you know, consistently, more or less, there's so many bad fucking drivers when it starts to snow. Also, you cannot go down, the brown, sort
the
of...
tunnel with the
tunnels.
teeth in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are, the secret, monster ones.
I was going to ask you to explain that.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, just, jumping on the keyboard.
Like to know... I would like to know if there is, like, an explanation to Gruntilda's enemies being in a ship. Like, what is Gruntilda involved with the smuggling activities?
I mean,
What
she is a
going
witch, so she's probably mass importing all the ingredients she needs for her potions and stuff.
Yeah. I would like to know very much, like, the explanation. So, like, I know the explanation of Sonic, so, like, Clanker was basically her garbage grinder.
Oh, for those who want to know the pattern for this, it is written on the side of the boat. I just remember it. I think where it's exactly written is actually on the other end of the boat, though. It's on the side on ground level, if you guys are curious. I don't think it changes per game run, but, you know.
It's still impressive how expensive these levels are.
Yeah, and the thing is that in Banjo-Tooie they got much bigger. The problem is that I find for Banjo-Tooie is that they got to the that leaning edge where they got a bit too big. I find that for Banjo-Kazooie it was just the right size, where it's expansive, you can explore a lot, but it's not tedious to get from point A to point B, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, in Banjo-Tooie, there is a lot of fucking backtracking you have to do in that game. And like I said before, I am not a fan of backtracking. Yeah, and also those monster things really scared the shit out of me as a kid. Okay, this is the room with the Easter egg in it. If I actually get into the right bunk bed, of course. Oh, there it is. There's the Easter egg. It's Barry from Conker.
Oh. That's a game I got to play.
Bad Fur Day or the Game Boy one? Because that's technically... Oh yeah, there's the passcode.
I did not know there was a Game Boy 1, so...
Technically that one was first, and then they were going to release an N64 one called Conker's 12 Tales, and Rare basically at the last minute decided that this game was going to be a little bit too babyish, and that they were going to... it was a game that was going to be basically forgotten because it was just so generic, essentially, for what they usually make. So, yeah, last minute they were like, hey, what if we just did South Park? And that's the rest is history, as they say.
Is that the pitch for Conkers? Make South Park, but with a squirrel?
Essentially, yeah. Basically, it wasn't necessarily a pitch. I think it was just like a last-minute decision where it was just like, well, we've been working on this for like a few years, but like, it's probably not going to do too well, or it's going to just be forgotten as like a game that was all right, sort of thing. So why don't we just make it loud and crude and really adult? And basically, the end result was like, yeah, it was basically very much like the 90s South Park show. I will say that for that game, it's good, but as a game, I would say that it's not that great. It's a good experience, though. Also, this fucking switch over here is a pain in the dick to get to. If someone does happen to know a better way of getting there, please let me know, because this is the only way I could figure it out, and it only works like 5% of the time. But yeah,
You should get some of that Anchorman math.
yeah.
For your strategies.
70% of the time, it works 100% of the time. Or what was the exact number? I can't remember. It's been so long.
I have no clue. Like something stupid like 60% of the time works all the time. And
there we go. And of course, just to make it that much more of a piss off, it's like the easiest fucking Jiggy to get after you leave the world. Yeah, Rusty Bucket Bay, Twining Cross, I think that's what it said. And that's actually a real place in England. But, what were we talking? Oh yeah, Conker's Bad Fur Day.
yeah.
I would say that Conker's Bad Fur Day, it's a game that people should play just out of, like, as pretentious as it's going to sound, people should play it out of, like, for, like, the historical context as to, like, how games sort of developed over the years kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to be playing it as, like, I'm going to do, like, a 100% run, or I'm going to do, like, a speed run kind of thing, it's not that good in that regard, because it's basically... I wouldn't go so far as to say it plays like a movie, but it's one of those things where, like, the first level, they try and set it up in such, like, a Banjo-Kazooie level, where you have, like, your 10 main items to collect to get further into the level. But as the game goes on, they do that less and less. So basically, you go an entire level, and then at the end you get like the one. Basically, what you get in that game are like $100 bills, and you can go through an entire level and get like one $100 bill kind of thing, you know? So it's not really structured like one of their old games, even though the first level kind of is. But even then, you'll realize on a second playthrough that the first level is actually very scripted as to what order you're supposed to be doing things in. I do have footage of that recorded. We could probably do that at some point, but
I think for that one, I'd rather play it first.
Yeah, fair enough. I will give a heads up and say that the... you know what? I was about to say the controls didn't age too well, but that might be slightly incorrect. Because looking back at it, I think the gun controls were actually okay for an N64 title. But, do you know anything about Conker's Bad Fur Day in terms of, like, some of the set pieces that they introduced?
I know that there is a level making parody of Matrix.
Oh, there's that, but that's not the big level that everyone remembers. And also, here's one of the a few rare things in Banjo-Kazooie, an actual boss fight.
Well, you did have the crab.
Oh, that barely counts as a boss fight. He just stood there and snipped at you, and you could easily dodge his shit because he leaves a wide opening for you to fuck him up. Anyway, all I can say is thank God that these boomboxes don't actually explode when you break them. And I also think that they actually intended for you to use the eggs here, but I find it's easier just to wail on him.
And now he's speaking at you from the afterlife.
Basically. But do you know the big level that I'm talking about, or do you want me to not spoil you?
Are you talking about the Great Mighty Pooh?
Well, that's a really good set piece, but no, that was not the big level that I was talking about.
Or the Saving Private Ryan one?
Yeah, that's the one! Yeah, where you have to go around shooting Nazi teddies. That was a fun level, although that's where the game really kicks your ass in terms of difficulty, because everything basically kills you in one hit. Oh yeah, the snow drivers. I didn't get to finish my thought on that. But yeah, do the drivers get really bad whenever the weather like changes slightly in your area, like they do over where I am?
Now around here, what it gets mostly for bad weather is very heavy rain. We don't get anything like snow, for example.
Okay, but what I'm asking is like, if the weather does get bad, do the drivers in your area, do they go like, oh well, it's starting to rain, I know the speed limit is 50k, but I'm gonna drive like 30?
Well, I can't say very much about that because it's I don't live in a particularly large town. It's like medium size.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there aren't many. The place. there aren't many places with heavy traffic, you know?
Okay, fair enough.
Usually just around the center that you have the place with heavy traffic, and it's not a place that I go very often. So,
Yeah, no, it's just when it came to the other day for me, what happened was and I'm also grabbing these notes first on the off chance that I do die, because if you fall in this area, it's instant death. Ugh.
oh, lovely.
Um,
Can't you use the feathers, like invincibility feathers?
maybe, but the problem is that you'd probably just run up against the wall. So I don't know. I never really tried it, to be honest. But there is one last thing that we need to do for this area, and that is these two switches across from each other. And then we can get arguably the hardest Jiggy in the game to get. There is a Jiggy behind the back end propellers, and we need to push these two buttons to make them stop, and then we have 100 seconds to get out of here, over to that area, under the water, behind the propellers, to grab the Jiggy, and then leave before they start up again.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, this is usually where people die and get all pissy that they lost. Oh no, my bad. 65 seconds. Whoops. On the bright side, these pipes do stop, so they don't cause you to lose time. Oh, and you know what these platforms always reminded me of? Chocolate wafer cookies. You ever had those?
I have.
Yeah, they are so good.
Man, this section, like the stairs, like whenever you're on a timer, stairs are probably the most aggravating thing you have to go through. Because I don't know how much, if you have the time to waste on them.
Yeah. Also, a trick for those who forget which end is it which on this level. They designed the level in such a way that the front of the ship goes at a slightly upward angle, or the boxes and stuff go at an upward angle, whereas the platforms to the back of the ship go down. And there we go. We barely had enough time to do that. And that is everything for this level, so fantastic. Did your grandmother ever make, like, really bomb-ass cookies?
No, not cookies. It's not a very popular, like, pastry that for grandmothers to do here.
Oh, what would they do?
Usually they did stuff like fried donuts, cake, especially carrot cake. Carrot cake is very nice.
Okay.
And what else? Oh yeah, cheese bread.
Okay, yeah, because when I was a kid, like my Oma, or my grandmother, she would make some really good pastries and stuff. And one that I really liked were these very brittle sort of like cookies. They weren't like the circular ones. They were more elongated, and they were very powdery when you bit into them. But they were so good, especially when she added a little bit of cocoa in them and made them chocolate cookies. They were great.
Is she still alive?
Unfortunately, no. She passed away I was in like grade 6 or 7 when she passed, so that would have been over 15 years ago now. My Opa is still alive though, and for being 91, he's doing surprisingly well.
Is that your grandpa is from Germany, right?
Yes, yes.
Do any of your parents speak German? It's your mother, right? On your mother's side.
Yeah, my mother speaks German, and I know a little bit of German that if it's spoken or if I'm reading it, I can kind of understand what's going on, but when it comes to writing or speaking it myself, I have no idea.
Yeah. I do find very aggravating when fathers don't they move to a country but don't teach their language to their children.
Yeah.
I met some point like in my workplace a girl who was from Japan. Well, her parents are from Japan, and her father just refused to teach her Japanese.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think because this was a problem that actually happened to my mom was my Opa and my Oma would teach my mother German and would speak German to her whenever she got home, kind of thing. And the problem there was that the teachers said, well, you're basically speaking only German. You're not teaching her English. So her English skills in the classroom are suffering greatly. So you need to like pick up the slack and start speaking English to her at home as well. So I think it has something to do with that. Like it's in terms of like that sort of mentality where it's like you need to speak the language of the area and keep up with that, so that way your child basically becomes more I guess acclimated, not acclimated, climatized doesn't sound right, but basically that's the only word that's really coming to mind. Like to the culture kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. I do think it's a very good thing to just to have the conscious to have if you have the opportunity to raise a child bilingual already.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think it's going to be more beneficial in the long run. It is difficult when when it's only you who speaks the other language, and you're married to a person who doesn't.
Yeah, like my dad comes from a family that is only English. Like they came from like sort of the England UK area, so they weren't bilingual at all. It was my mother's side who was.
Yeah. But ooh boy. Is that the last level?
Yep, this is the last level, and this one's my favorite. But we'll have to save that for next video. We're just gonna walk up and get into it, and then end the video there.
Yeah. That's alright.
Also, I forgot to mention, but yeah, if you spend a lot of time in Gruntilda's lair going between levels, she'll say a rhyme at you, basically making fun of how long it is you're taking to complete the game. But yeah, like I don't hold anything against my mom for not teaching me like a second language kind of thing, but it's just, you know, it would have been nice, I guess.
Yeah. I know some parents it has to be a major effort, like, because you have to be prepared to do that, integrate that as part of the education of your child. So,
well, I think probably like, I'm no expert on this, but I think what would be the easiest way would be to basically teach your child, like, the way that we teach them their main language, like, basically just point at something and then say, like, that's a tree, or that's a something else kind of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, I guess I'm just double checking here to make sure that I got everything. Game total. Yeah, okay, everything looks good. Let's go. But even then, it's... I don't know, I think that would probably be the simplest way, but who knows? I'm not an expert in this shit. But anyway, that is the end of the video. So, with that, we will see you all next time. Have a nice night.
You too.